Welcome back. I'm Matt, and welcome to our Affiliate Gathering 2024 Ezoic Livestream. I'm joined now by a wonderful content creator who has graciously agreed to join us today and have a little bit of a chat about how they're finding Affiliate Gathering, the chats that we've had so far and the presentations, as well as the sort of future of the publishing business. So Adam, thank you very, very much. Please feel free to introduce yourself to the wonderful live stream.
I'm Adam, come from the Isle of Wight, and we've got a small publishing business, several websites.
Awesome. And it'd be great to know first just a little bit about your background. How did you get into digital publishing?
Years ago, I think 1997, I started, at the time, people used to email jokes around, and the web was in its infancy. And I made a website called Tractor Joke, which was just archiving all of these jokes and cartoons and things. That died when I forgot to renew the domain name, so that was a bit of a lesson in itself.
Like that. We've all been there.
But it started getting lots of traffic, and I started getting interested in SEO. At the time, there was no way to monetize it. There was no Google AdSense or anything like that. In 2003, I started a metric conversion site doing conversions like Celsius Fahrenheit, meters of feet. And I created that just as a kind of hobby. And about a month later, I had a look, and it was getting loads of traffic. So I thought I'd try and put some adverts on. Then by 2007, I suppose 4 years later, I gave up my day job because it was just earning more than I was earning elsewhere. And it's kind of grown from there. So last year was its 20th anniversary.
That's incredible. There's very few sites that can say that.
Yeah.
So that's impressive.
It's been going quite a long time.
And since then, you've also sort of really expanded your portfolio, and you've got quite a number of websites now.
Yeah, on and off. We kind of do a shotgun approach. We create lots of websites, and some of them take, and some of them don't, and die. And there was one that we sold last year that we actually started in 2014. Forgot that it was even there. It was just sat on the server doing its thing. And then Mike said to me one day, like, I think that site's getting a lot of traffic. And it's suddenly woken up years later.
Yeah.
Got a few good links. I think there was a TechCrunch article that linked to it. Because it was a password generator site. And suddenly it was top of the rankings. So sometimes these sites can lie in hibernation for a long while and then suddenly wake up.
Yeah, and they surprise you.
So we try and just seed it and wait for which ones actually start doing something. And if they start doing something, they warrant more of our time to do some more work on them. Yeah.
And would you say that's like a publishing style you would recommend for new people looking to start a website, of maybe not expecting every single website to be a success?
Yeah, would I recommend it? We've got the luxury of, because Metric pays our bills, we've got the luxury of doing that, and we haven't got to be in a hurry. If you were starting out doing it, I wouldn't give up your day job straight away to do that strategy.
Yeah.
So that's the way we do it. But and I think every website takes years to get anywhere in reality. I mean, I've heard these overnight success stories, but I think they're quite rare. Also, they're a bit fragile, because if they haven't been around for a long time, they can drop just as quickly as
they rose.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. I'd also love to know a little bit more about how you found Ezoic and ended up starting to work with us.
Yeah, I mean, we got badgered by Ezoic for years. But we've got so many people trying to do our advertising. I kind of ignored it all. But we were using Google Ad Exchange and Rubicon, and our revenue was just declining all the time, and we were spending more and more time trying to manage it. And so we thought we'd give Ezoic a go, probably about 2 years ago now. And it was great because suddenly a lot of all the time consuming and the headaches was taken away because Ezoic takes care of that. And overnight we were earning far more money than we were before. So, yeah.
Well, you can't complain with that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, you earn more money for less time. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then there's all these other tools that I haven't even begun to explore. But like certified units. And I was just talking about video because we haven't ever done any video. So it's all interesting stuff to.
Mm-hmm. It's good to always have, even if you use a tool, but to know that there's those avenues to go down when you have a spare moment. That can be really powerful.
The core web vitals thing is quite useful as well because before you can go on to page speed. And you see your scores, but then you haven't got a clue really how to fix it.
With it.
But with the Leap tool, I found it's quite good that you can put that on. It fixes a lot of things, and you can go back and fix it properly. Over time, and you could see, what needs to be done.
No, I definitely think that's as somebody who's been with Ezoic for over 5 years now. And I was here back before we had a tool called Leap. Before we didn't have any site speed tools, and then we made one that just improved site speed. And it was useful for some people because it made the site run faster. But then if a site was really bloated down by other things, other technologies, it couldn't really point that out. So you didn't really know where to turn. Whereas the good thing about Leap, which for context is our site speed enhancing core vitals tool, is that technology section, as you say, because you get that granular look into exactly what's on the site, what's causing a slowdown, and then you can decide for yourself if it's important.
And years ago, we had a site in Chinese, and we weren't getting much Chinese traffic at all. And I had no way of telling why that was. And I went to China in 2016 and went to the site from inside China. And the reason was that I was using Google libraries, such as analytics and loading jQuery through Google. And of course, behind the Great Firewall, it slows everything down. So the site was there, but all the JavaScript libraries and things weren't loading because they were being pulled from Google. So when I got back, I removed it for the Chinese pages and suddenly got traffic in China.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And if I'd had the Leap tool back then, of course, I would have known without actually having to go to China and find out.
Yeah, it definitely makes it cheaper that you have to buy tickets to go all the way to China. But that's a really good example, actually, of that sort of problem that sometimes you can know that something's not quite right, but you don't really know what the problem is. And so being able to have it flagged for you when there's already so many things to look at is really helpful because you don't then have to go through the whole troubleshooting process yourself.
Yeah.
No, thank you for talking about that. In terms of more recently, this lovely gathering right now in the beautiful Malmaison in this very cold, I'll have you know, room. How have you found this experience today?
It's been really good, actually. I like the format this year that they've just got one stream, so you haven't got to be constantly deciding, shall I go to this one or this one? Because from the title, you're not always sure which will be most useful for you. So I think they've condensed it into one stream, works really well. It's all good quality stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think that streamlined approach is really helpful for allowing people to see as many of the sort of presentations as possible, because there's so many people with different experiences and different backgrounds. And as you say, you never really know which sort of nugget of wisdom or insight that you didn't know is going to be the thing that you are actually looking for until you're there. So
it also forces you to go out of your your area. So, for example, we don't have any affiliate, even though it's called affiliate gathering. We don't have any affiliate links on our sites. We may do in the future for some things if they make sense, but that's an area we don't know about, and I wouldn't know anything about it. But because you're sat there and they're talking about things, then you just learn slightly outside of your
sort of bubble.
Yeah.
I definitely see that when even just in the presentations that I've time to catch today, there's already aspects in things like making TikToks or Reels that I'm not as well versed in, that I found really interesting.
Yeah, I have no idea about any of that stuff. I've never used TikTok, heard of it. I've never made a YouTube video or all of these things. So it's all quite interesting to see what other people are doing, which is a completely different experience to ours.
Mm-hmm. And is this your first affiliate gathering, or have you?
No, I came last year. So I met Carl at Club 22 in Carlsbad with Ezoic, and that's the first I'd heard of it. So we came up last year. But I love York. It's a fantastic city, so I was really quite looking forward to it.
You got an excuse to come to York and to then meet everybody else as well at the same time, which is a nice extra.
Yeah.
As a sort of final question for you, moving on to the rest of the day, looking forward to it, is there any final session that you're excited about, or a particular company, a person you're excited to speak to that you've not quite managed to yet?
I've just run through Claire on the Flickify thing. I'm looking forward to actually having a play with that because I've never touched it. There's a couple of other exhibitors that I want to visit. I can't remember what's on the schedule later on today. And also I'm hoping that we go to the rooftop bar again.
After our masterclass yesterday, we went to a lovely rooftop bar, and there is an after party later. So then there'd be some more drinks at that bar. Adam, thank you very, very much for graciously joining us today. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the affiliate gathering.
Cheers.